was in LA in December, and I was just hiking up a trail at Santa Monica, and I just checked Instagram, and I got this message from this guy who was like, "Oh yeah, there's people outside. What are you guys doing? Get your ass in here." And so I was hiking to Santa Monica, and I checked my phone. I'd gotten a message from this gentleman, and we had spoken a little bit before. And he was like, "Hey, I see that you're coming to Austin. Are you interested in throwing together an event?" And I was going to be in Austin in 3 days, and I was like, "You know what? Fuck, let's do it. You know, like, why not?" And so he had just come here into town and started to build community. And he was doing things like right out of his own apartment. And it was, you know, a modest space, nice. I was like, well, let's try it. Let's give it a shot. So I came and met Chris, and we sat down. And the first thing he was like, "Do you want to set an intention for this?" So we sat down, we set an intention for it, and really talked about what we wanted to experience and what we wanted the people who were going to be a part of the event to experience. And that became a really amazing event just in 3 days with almost no prep. So it was incredible how it came together, and he has since built an incredible community of, I don't know, we were at Mindful Monday on Monday, this just a couple of days ago, and there were like probably, 40 or 50 people there at Casa de Luz. So it was incredible, and Chris and I both are very passionate about these ideas. The principles in reality transurfing that Vadim Zeland writes about are principles that have transformed both of our lives, and really everyone you're going to see tonight has been strongly impacted by these ideas and principles. So that's one of the common threads that we all share. But I'm really, really excited and grateful to be able to collaborate with Chris. He is incredibly talented. He's an energy wizard, and someone that I know you're going to immediately fall in love with. So as I want to welcome him to the stage, I want you guys to make a lot of noise. Let's let him feel that energy that he's so sensitive to as we bring Chris Carter to the stage.
Sweet, cool, thank you. Awesome, cool. I guess we'll have Hal Jr. here. He's been along for the whole ride, the whole journey, so he should be on stage too. All right, everyone. Well, welcome. My name is Chris Harders. I think you know that. And I was considering what would be useful for us to go into today. A few years ago, I got very tuned in to the law of attraction, specifically transurfing, when I had all these concepts of intuition, of energy tools that I'd studied and learned, but life still wasn't exactly where I wanted it to be. And that's where I didn't have much money in my bank account, but I bought every book that Zeland had printed in English and just started studying and started tracking the lessons and how it related to my life, especially when moments of miracles popped up and what were those common threads. And then when I was building this community, which was just aligned with my heart's intent, I was using some of the principles that I wanted to share tonight. So yeah, the principles we're going to talk about tonight are going to be especially affirming the reality that you want and how you can actually utilize the energy of others to help exponentiate or speed up and accelerate that dream of yours. And what we're going to do first, what I learned in my psychic school, and what I noticed a lot of teachings in law of attraction miss, but Tiff already kind of gave us a version of this, is I noticed there's 3 steps to law of attraction. First is to clear, to release the expectations and the ego's beliefs of what it is we're supposed to want, society's beliefs of what we're supposed to want, so we can tune into what our actual heart wants. So we're going to do a very simple clearing process. And then there's countless, step 2 is to activate, to find a process, and there's many, and Zeland offers a few, and I'll walk you through one of the more useful ones that works in 10 seconds to 50 seconds, the Tufti plate technique. And then the third piece is, as you're going about your day, to affirm your reality as it is coming into form. This is a lot different than just looking in a mirror and saying, I am beautiful, I am happy, I am healthy. And that is a different form of affirming your reality. And then we're going to go into sort of a group meditation manifestation process, because what I've noticed when I've had community, when we've done this, there's this consciousness that exponentiates the ease of connecting with source, with field, whatever you want to call it. And so on any given Mindful Monday, I'm kind of in bliss mode and I'm just riding those waves. And as I'm riding those waves, every once in a while, I connect in with source, connect in with quantum, whatever we want to call it, and affirm my reality. And then maybe I even take it a step further of what's the next step I want and start putting that dream out there. So we're going to play with those things tonight. And to get started, we're going to drop in. We're going to do another form of clearing, something that, as an energetically sensitive person, who here is energetically sensitive? Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Who here has tools for being energetically sensitive? Okay, cool. Who here has heard of a grounding cord before? Okay, got it. Yeah, some people who've especially shown up to my events. So grounding cord really changed things for me. I couldn't even go out to a grocery store or anything. There's too much beeping, too much stuff happening at one point in time. And I was basically just stuck in my apartment, like looking at the weather app, looking at on the Google Maps, when is a place not busy, and all this just to exist. And I thought, this is madness. And then I met somebody who taught me a very simple tool. We have a relationship with the earth. And when we set a grounding cord, here we are up here, and we can imagine the center of the earth is down here. When we just imagine that we set this energetic cord, we can now have the grounding cord pull from our space other people's energies. So when we're going about our day, we can just say, not mine, and release that. And so what we're going to do right now is we're going to set a grounding cord. I'll walk you through it, because otherwise we're walking around with opinions of what we should do from aunts and uncles and parents and siblings and society, rather than tuning into our own true goal. So you find a way to get comfortable. This will be quick. This will be 5 minutes, maybe 10 max. And just notice what helps you relax. For a lot of people, it's going to be tuning into or breathing a little bit more deeply. And the cue for that can be to notice the belly button moving in and out, rather than a lot of people breathe in the chest throughout the day. And you might even notice what part of you is already the most relaxed. And then you can tune into the base of your spine, the root, right there between the hips. And imagine that there's a ball of light. For now, imagine it's about the size of a softball or a grapefruit. And that ball of light can begin to expand in all directions. It'll expand out to the width of your hips. And then it can continue expanding out till it's about an arm's width in all directions, so that you sit in a hollow, energetic sphere of light. And this defines your personal space. It also defines your energetic space. Even just doing this can be very helpful for us sensitives to start defining our boundaries a little more clearly. And it might be fun to tune into if there's a color or other qualities of this ball of light, but it's not necessary. Just notice what that's like right now, though, to define your space a little bit more. And then now we're going to set the grounding cord, because right now as sensitives, and people in general, but sensitives really take it, it's like we're sponges just moving around with other people's energy. And we can release it. If it's not ours to transmute. So we can intend that we set a grounding cord. And one way of doing this is that bottom half, so from about the waist down of the sphere, you can imagine that it extends downwards, that it becomes a hollow energetic tube of light, hollow energetic cylinder, and it moves. It moves at whatever speed is right for you. First it moves through the floor, then those different layers of the earth, past where the tree roots go, past the hidden streams, past the hidden mole people, all the way down, 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 until it connects in with the center of the earth. My teachers like to imagine it twist and lock in or sort of fuse in. And so now there's you up here, long, hollow, energetic tube that's like a trash chute that connects into the center of the earth, and gravity pulls out of your space all those dense energies, those thoughts, projections, opinions, should-haves, would-haves, could-haves, of other people, of society, of even undefinable energy that isn't yours. So notice what that's like to be observer as your space becomes more clear, your space becomes more light. Again, another way of you coming back more to self. Coming back more to self in this lifetime. And then every time that we clear out, it can be really helpful to call back even more of our own energy. And so you can imagine that there is a giant golden sun above your head. Imagine that your name is getting written in that in black magnetic ink. This claims it as yours. And that your energy just returns to this golden sun wherever it's been left, with other people, in other spaces, in other places, other times. So it can return to the present moment, because as we'll learn and as we might already know, the present is when we can really define how we want our life to go. So this golden sun above accumulates energy. And then like when an egg cracks, the golden sun's gonna crack, and inside is, instead of a yolk, it's gonna be this honey-like substance that represents your unique energetic signature in this lifetime, your energy. And it can pour downwards until it makes contact with that energetic boundary of your aura, that energetic sphere. And then it moves inwards, makes physical contact with the body, and it begins charging you back up, resetting you, refreshing you with you as a soul in this lifetime. So some might notice it on the head. It's often, there's a quality of warmth to it. And then it can move down the sides of the face, down the back and the front, down the neck, down the shoulders and the arms. Move down the front and the back of the torso and the sides. You might even notice the energy moving inwards. Might do some healing for you of the muscles, the tissues, the bone, the blood. And of course, it can continue moving down as well, down the waist, the upper leg, the lower leg, the feet. And I'll just give you a moment or a minute or two to allow that energy to continue moving through you and healing you in whatever way is right for you right now. And anything that's extra will just move down that grounding cord you said. And then that cracked golden sun above the head, it can move down through your space, down through the grounding cord as well, and we'll let the center of the earth transmute that. And then whenever is right for you, you can begin to return your attention to this place and space and time. Having hopefully a little bit more of a stronger connection with you in this lifetime as we begin to explore what's possible for you. Cool. Well, welcome back to those who are back. And for some people, it might be still a lot of energy. So in my school, you can pretend you're a teapot and tip over. And imagine that extra energy that might be in the crown move down the grounding cord as well. Cool. And welcome to present time, everyone. In the book Tufti, which of all of Zalon's books, I mean, the principles in transurfing are fantastic. For whatever reason, Tufti really resonated with me. And some of the tools are just so efficient and effective that I just kind of adopted her as my mini mentor of sorts. And she has a very simple principle that when we're present and when we're not taking life too seriously, when we notice that life is really just kind of like a movie, and we're also not buying into our thoughts too much, when we come, as she describes it, center of head, or she doesn't describe it center of head, my psychic school describes it as center of head, but she calls it between the two screens. That's when we have a special opportunity to begin to connect in with the quantum. First, we become aware, hey, this isn't real life. I'm a character in a movie. And then we can activate the phantom limb. So we can have Hal Jr. activate the phantom limb. So the phantom limb is, it's as though we have this braid that is known as, Castaneda calls it the assemblage point. And then in Tufti, she calls it the plate or braid of intention. And it's an energetic limb that hangs somewhere around the shoulder blades. And when we tune into it, even if we're just pretending, even if we're just imagining we have an imaginary finger that's stroking the back, this braid, it rises up and connects in with the quantum plane. And when it connects in with the quantum plane, whatever thought we have, whatever vision we have, gets shot right to source, right to quantum, and it's kind of like, it's like it's placing your order on Uber Eats, but your order on Uber Ideal Life, and getting that delivered to you. So that's what we're going to play with today. Yeah, so anyhow, can you all play with that just for a minute? So come into to present time, and most of you are already there. And then notice that space where there's the world out here, and maybe you have your thoughts kind of in the background, but can you be present and be aware that there's a world out here, there's your thoughts, and then there's you, and you're a little bit separate from that. Can I get a show of hands? Is that easy enough to do? Okay. And how easy is it for you all to imagine that there is this braid behind you, whether or not you can feel it? I'm seeing some nods. Okay, cool. And who has a dream or an idea of what it is that they want right now? Some do. Okay. Why don't we have a little bit of fun right now? So one of the things that I noticed really helps is there's a concept in transurfing called frailing, where when we are speaking to another and when we see the best in another, they tend to also see the best in us, and they tend to want to help us. They tend to want to support us. So why don't we partner up with 2 or 3 people? Let's make sure no one's left out. And for a minute or two, why don't we share what it is we're trying to call in right now? And as the receiver, your job is going to just be to look at the person and see them in having achieved that goal. Can I have Tiff, do you want to be just a demo subject so we can play with this? Yeah, come up here for a sec. So Tiff.
Can I say, we like to call it golden gossip. Is another way you can say it.
What do we like to call it?
Golden gossip.
Golden gossip.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We can do some golden gossip right now.
Yeah.
So Tiff, I'm just gonna reflect back. I'm just gonna listen to you as you share some of your goals right now, and I'm just gonna validate. Maybe I'll ask a follow-up question, but I'm just gonna do my best to visualize you with that end goal. How's that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what's on your mind? What are you trying to call in?
Oh, let me feel and be present for that. I am living present, joyfully, fully, my most healed whole life. I am.
Yes.
The universe delivers.
Thank you. And I'm speaking on stage.
You are speaking on stage, yeah.
And I am, I see the light in that which is in front of me, in the contrast. And the humans around me that maybe have presented before, and I become more and more embodied and reflecting that golden light, and they begin to see it themselves. That feels good to me.
Yeah, and so I'm observing in my mind's eye, I'm seeing Tiff with gold light bouncing off of her with people, and there's the reflection happening. And anything else about all that?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just going to go for it, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Dream.
Let's do it. Let's do a dream.
Okay. So I am in beautiful divine partnership with masculine form that feels so good and solid. We see each other and support each other and know each other and hold each other. And in fact,
I'm keeping it PG-13 in my
yes,
vision, but
sure.
yeah.
Whatever feels good for you. Maybe not mine. I don't know. And and I'm surrounded by people who are living their fullest, best, grateful life, and we are creating this web. And Solar Puck Summit is abundant, prosperous, and this new Earth reality mentality that we're experiencing, that we are creating and building, is landing and solid, and it's like we take that leap, that full leap and step, and we know that we're caught, and we're really feeling that vibration.
Beautiful.
Perpetually.
Beautiful. And I saw a lot of frolicking. A lot of that was happening in my head too. Sweet. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so I think you'll have the general gist. Given the demo, I think we're gonna need a little bit more time per person. So maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and I'll announce like we can switch. How about that to make it easy? But find 2 or 3 people, because this will really and you're as the receiver, you just reflect back, vision, and then maybe ask what more if you need to. How's that sound? Doable? All right, cool. So go forth, and I'll call you back in just a couple minutes. So the fun thing, even with the buzz that's going on right now, for those who would like, you can tune into that buzz and activate that braid behind. So tune in, because that buzz is going on. It's higher energy, which makes it even easier to connect with the quantum. And so in moments like this, when people are excited, you can just tune in, see yourself, see reality, and then validate. Jeremy, could you turn off the music? Oh, thank you. Sweet. So thumbs up. How was that? Thumbs up, down. Okay, cool. Sweet. Okay, awesome. Yeah, so we have these opportunities with the right people, with the ones that first off, we always have the opportunity when we're going about our day to see somebody in their best light, and oftentimes they'll start reflecting that back to us. Now be wary, there are the energy vampires and narcissists, things like that. Just flag them and say, all right, not gonna, I'll just kind of let them be, that's my philosophy with them. But when we start looking at this in others, it starts helping us. And then after we do activities like this, I'm gonna have us do one more simple meditation and then project into the field in the meditation, if that's okay, because I found it to be so helpful when there's a group consensus here. But what I would encourage you throughout the event is once in a while look for proof that whatever it is that your dream is coming into fruition. So even just proof that this law of attraction stuff must work, otherwise there couldn't possibly be this many crazy people in a room together, right? So even affirming that is a start. If you are looking for more community, you can affirm, wow, look at all the people gathered here who are clearly looking for community. If you want a lover, you could just even be affirming that the gender of your preference is in the room, so you're getting closer to that lover. And so there's all these ways, maybe it's a little bit of a stretch, but when you start looking for the proof and doing the plate technique, it can be very useful. Now, if you just affirm anyhow, it'll be useful, but the braid does bring it up a notch. So I don't know that people are going to need questions from me. We could do that, but I say before we go into any questions, let's take one more moment to tune back in and meditate, because again, the other powerful way that I've found is to, when that meditative effect is happening, that we can really call in what it is we want. So again, if you've already been walked through the grounding cord, just throw down anything that's been other people's energies that might have been picked up, return back to self, Everyone can just release anything from the day if they haven't experienced the grounding cord. And then you can allow that, that potential reality. Maybe you can see it in your mind's eye. Maybe you're not much of a visual person and you just have that thought of, maybe it's as simple as I am living my mission. Maybe it's I have my lover. Maybe it's I am an ideal lover. It could be anything. While this group is beginning to tune into that energy of possibility, you can find your way of connecting in with the quantum. For some, it might be feeling that energy, that appendage behind the back of their head and intending that connect in, and then just sending that vision as though they were just clicking send on an email, that it gets delivered to the quantum realm. Others might imagine that they have a line that connects them up to source, just a white line that shoots right up to source or God or what creator of all it is, whatever it might be for you, and that's how the message gets sent. My psychic school, we imagine putting it in a bubble and watching that float off until it gets delivered to whoever's going to answer our wish. There's many different ways. So I'll give you just a moment to play and see what comes easily for you. And then with that, you can release and just come back to the room. And that's that. And know that the more people start seeing you in this ideal form, even if it's one person, even if it's a like on a comment that you say or on a post you make of how excited you are for whatever, use those as proof that your dream is coming into reality and it comes so much faster for you. I think I have a couple minutes. If there are questions, happy to.
Could you speak a little bit more of that cord or that braid?
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah. So in the book Tufti, she talks about it, and it's essentially that in a long time ago, we used to have a much more a strong connection with this energetic appendage of sorts. And Castaneda talks about it. Interestingly, my NLP teacher said that her shaman friend even talked about it too. But just think about it as a braid, like a braid of hair that just hangs somewhere around the shoulder blades.
It's coming from?
It's coming from roughly the shoulder blades, but it's wherever you sense it in the back. It's more that you're pretending it's there until you start noticing something. It's amazing how powerful the imagination is. And when you just imagine that it's there and imagine that it raises up, it connects in with the quantum so play with that. Any other questions? Yes?
Do you have any relational things like games so you can check impact?
Relational games.
So if you're doing transurfing, just any kind of relational activities, ways to track the attention as it's merging with someone else?
I don't know that I'm following the intent. The way I'll tell you two tricks that I use for having people tend to be more amicable to me. One is I intend that my aura is a mirror. So and then I set the intention that I energetically reflect the wants and needs of others. I also imagine that there's a little bit of gold dust in my aura. Tufti talks all about reflecting other people's needs, the mirror technique. And I thought, well, I don't want to have to do this mentally all the time. What if I just set my aura and then it's handling the hard part? And when other people are dealing with me, they're getting their needs met, whatever they might be. And because of that, they just start being a little bit kinder to me. So that's one thing that I do. Another thing, to call in a person, the right person for me. We can all do this really quickly. In my psychic school, we played with roses. And I imagine that there is a rose in front of me. And I just imagine the sense of the person that I want to meet. So I imagine what it's going to feel like if it's a lover, when I'm in a flirtation state and I'm like, this is the person I'm like having a good time with. If it's a business person that I want to meet, a person for a business deal, I would tune into that. What's it like when I've met the person and I know that they're a good person, an honest person, we have the deal. And once I tune into that energy, I imagine it move into the rose, then I imagine that it fly far, far off, and that the universe delivers it. Now, I have a limiting belief that it's easy to call in other people, because when you're calling in somebody with a mutual interest, where what you want complements what they want, it's easy for the universe which works on the law of conservation of energy, to just say, oh, you want this, boom, let's pair you up. So I think it's actually very easy for people to find each other when they put out a clear signal to the universe. I don't know if that answered your actual question, but I was trying to play with your relational stuff.
Yeah, I like it. I'm just curious to relating in real time.
What's that?
Like relating in the moment.
Yeah.
Like something like authentic relating.
Yeah, so authentic relating, well, I mean, that would just be relating. I don't know that I'm...
I think you can apply your technology to authentic relating.
We probably could.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We'll go with that and we'll talk later. So, I mean, a simple way would just be to affirm whatever the other person is saying. Affirm in whatever way isn't a lie for you, and then ask them a follow-up question, because then they would feel affirmed in real time, and that would make them feel like the best version of themselves and then want to continue engaging. Is that valid?
That sounds good.
Cool. All right. One more question, if there is one, and otherwise, would love to talk later, and would love to have you all at Mindful Mondays sometime. So they're pretty awesome. They're at Casa de Luz at 6:30 every single Monday here in Austin, and it's donation based. We always do weird psychic-y fun things, and it's all about community. So cool. All right. Is that good to you, Owen? Yeah. Sweet. And coming to the stage, Owen Hunt. Sweet. Cool, man.
Great
Sweet.
stuff.
Thank you, man.
Give it up for Chris. Make some noise for Chris.